Hello everyone, welcome back to Ballyspring. It has been a while, hasn't it? Now, if you remember, back in our last episode, we were really struggling to make ends meet. Not making any money. In fact, the farm was losing money hand over fist. I think we'd taken on more than we could chew. We had 2 farms. We were running fields all over the map. It just wasn't really working. We had a lot of old kit as well. It just maybe wasn't quite cutting it in terms of performance as well. So, luckily enough for us, we have been rescued. The local contractor O'Malley's has stepped in and they have refinanced the business for us. We've consolidated the farm as well. We've moved it all to one farm, so we are down on this farm only now. We've sold a lot of the land as well and moved those funds to bigger fields, closer to the farm, more practical, so we can get going there. We also sold our mix of beef and milk cattle. If you remember, we had a mixture of the two. Again, cows are lucrative, but particularly milking cows, I think, are the future for us, so that's fantastic. What else have I got to show you? Most of our kit has gone. We've got a couple of tractors left and a few bits of kit dotted around. The biggest investment that we have made is in this mower set. Now, being where we are and where we are in Ireland, there's a lot of grass here, so it made a total... It was like a no-brainer to us to have a huge mower set up here. We could be very popular with a lot of the other local farmers when they are looking to contract some work out later in the year or whenever they need grass work. So it made sense. So that is our key piece of investment, really. We kept the 7810. We had to keep one of the old pieces of kit for nostalgia reasons. That's pretty much used for feeding the cattle and just work around the yard, but a good old workhorse there, proud of that. And we've got this T7. We slightly upgraded the T5 to a T7. This is a short wheelbase version, of course. Being such a tight map, we want to make sure we can get around these roads, but a good solid workhorse there as well. So looking forward to giving that a bit of a spin later on. Now, the other thing that we should show you is the O'Malley's yard and their kit that they have available, because as part of the deal, although they have lent us some money, and we do have a loan outstanding with them for $250,000, we do have the luxury of being able to use their equipment at a reduced rate, not for free. So we do have to pay for it, so we need to be sensible. But let's go and have a look at their yard, and this is why this is a sensible deal for us, and this is why O'Malley's have been brilliant in helping us out, is because their yard is just here. So let's run down here. This did, of course, coincide with the guys at Air Agri Modding releasing the final version of Ballyspring, and I, for one, was still using the pre-release version. So a lot of the bugs that were in the map were still there, so I was delighted to take the opportunity to upgrade to the new map as well. But here we go. Let's park just in here. You see a few little muddy puddles as we drove into the yard there. Let's jump out and have a look at some of the kit. So there we go, all of their grasswork kit is here, some lovely class equipment, Tedder, windrower, a slightly older class Jaguar 820, some lovely trailers here. They do have 3 rather nice tractors around here as well. Let's just have a look. We have got another T7, similar to ours, a little bit older. I think this is a 2011 version, you can tell by the slightly older style of cab there. We have got a John Deere 6R, good old workhorse there, and this Massey 6S. I believe Massey are the most popular tractor brand in Ireland, closely followed by New Holland and John Deere, so covering all the bases with this stuff here, which is very, very nice. The other thing that they have in this yard is, we'll walk around here, you can see the back of the shed there, we'll go and have a look at that in a minute. The other thing they have agreed to do with us as well is let us rear our heifers and our calves down here. So we do need to pop down here and feed them every now and again, but we have got some animals down here which we can transfer up to the main yard once they get to milking age. But in here, this is their new renovated part of the farm actually. There's the old farm. This is something they've just installed relatively recently. A couple of sheds here for additional machinery. You can see the combine header there. I'm sure we'll be using that relatively soon based on the fact it's August already. So let's pop this up. So they have got a slightly smaller Lexion 740 in here. Lovely combine. And again, some Richard Weston trailers there, some grain trailers there, ready for the summer. Nice sheds those. And over here, one of the big things they're pushing at the moment is their slurry spreading capabilities. So they have got all this umbilical hose and direct injection slurry spreading, which should come in handy because we have got 40 cows up on the main farm now, which are producing a nice amount of slurry. And of course we've got heifers down here as well, which will continue to move up. So between them we're going to start making quite a lot of our own fertilizer, which again all goes towards us being a little bit more self-sufficient. So let's see how we get on. We have a float in the bank of 91,000 at the moment, but like I said, we've got to invest as we go through the year. We've got to pay back our debts. We're going to have to buy some new bits of equipment as well. So things like we don't have a seeder anymore, so we're going to have to buy one of those at some point. But for now, we've got the stuff that we need to get started. So we'll just head out of here, head back to our yard. I'll just touch on some of the other things they've invested in as well. In fact, one of them is here. This is this new TMR mixing facility, so we can prep food for the winter for the cows, which is a nice little touch. But also, if we head into the yard here, they have spent a lot of money on a brand new, rather large silo here for grass, so we can get a lot of silage in there. Some we'll use, some we'll maybe sell, we shall see, but this just really gives us scope to build things out a lot quicker and hopefully start becoming a more viable farm than we were before, because we were really struggling. No question. Right, let's jump into the map quickly and I'll show you what fields we own now. So here we go. Here's the PDA. This is our farm here. We own 73 and 74 down here. 130 down here as well. 131, 135, 137 and 136. So a nice clump of fields there. Remember last time we had these 3 fields up here, and we had some of these all the way around here, and then some here all over the place. So that is what we own now. We also own 61 over here, which is great. You can ignore 42, 44 and 46 and 45. They belong to O'Malley's. They're nothing to do with us, although we may help them out and get those fields done later on. We will be mucking in a little bit with the contracting as well. We're just going to try and be as helpful as we can as a neighbour farmer. First things first, like I said, we are running low. We've still got a few bales left from last year, but not much. As you can see in the sheds here, if you remember, we stacked these up in the early episodes. We are running a lot lower on straw and hay than we were at the start of the year. And again, we've got a few wrapped silage bales here, but if we can get this clamp filled pretty quickly, that'll definitely help us out a lot. But there we go, there's our wrapped bales as well. So what we're going to do, I think we're going to jump into that big field 61 straight away, get it mowed, and try and get some of that grass picked up and into this bunker as quickly as possible. In fact, we're going to try and mow all of the grass fields we've got in one go and try and get that bunker super full. So let's head down to the field now and try and get started. Now it is a bit tight getting out of here, but it's not too bad. If you just take your time, you're doing all right. It's pretty narrow on the lanes though, so you've got to help nothing's coming. So far, so good. And we can see down to the junction there, so that's good. So we'll head down and we'll see you in the field. Right, here's our field entrance. As you can see, a little bit muddy there as well. So we'll just get through there without too much hassle. That's good. A little bit of wheel spin there, but we're all right. As you can see, these fields feel a lot more substantial than some of the old ones we had, so I'm going to get started here. I'm going to get this unfolded. I'm going to get things going. Right, we're all set here. The only thing I'm going to do is switch my work mode from widespreading to swath dropping. That's Control Y to switch that work mode. And let's spin these up and see how we get on. I'm going to drive this one by hand. Just get a feel for things, and then off we'll go. Right, here we go. We were right on the limit of being a perfect row at the end. There's a little bit of stragglers just there on the left-hand side, which I'll have to go back and pick up. And I left a few across the field, actually. I was driving by hand, so no driving aids at all. So there are a few little bits that I missed, where I didn't get my eye in right, but not bad. That didn't take long. Need to get the windrower in here pretty quickly and get it sorted, even though it put it into swaths. They're pretty wide swaths, they've not really joined up, so we'll tidy things up and then hopefully we'll get the chopper in. Now, O'Malley's have said I can use their windrower today, nobody else is using it, so we'll use our tractor, but we'll go and get their windrower, and then we do have to get the checkbook out because they're going to help us pick this up using their trailers and their chopper, so hopefully it's worth it. We've got a few other fields to do, so we're going to probably send this tractor down and start mowing some other fields. Try and get as much grass ready as possible while we've got this nice window of weather, and then after that we'll see how much is in the bunker. There we go, last little straggler done. So we'll get folded up here. Now we are going to head down to 3 of our other fields. All the way down here, 131, 35 and 37. You can see the amount of green on this map. That's all grassland. So we're going to get those done, and then we're going to do 73 and 74 as well. So a good amount of fields to be working on at the moment. But like I said, we'll put a worker on those. We'll get one of the crew onto that, and we'll go and grab that windrower now. Right, so here we are, making our way to 137. 136 is our field, of course. That's already been chopped down. That is actually in the silo. We can sell that at some point as well. But there's 137 below us here, looking rather nice. Should get higher yield off this field as well. As you can see, it's sowed grass rather than the standard stuff, so let's see how we get on with it. Right, off he goes. He's gonna get through this relatively quickly. Now we are maybe one stage off being ready, actually. We are growth stage 2 of 3, but at the moment we're keen to get a lot of this grass into the silo if we can, so we're going to leave him to it. Bit of a hill there. Seems to be coping okay with it. But yeah, not as much crop on this one as I thought, but it all counts. So we'll leave them working away on that, and we'll head back to the other field. Right, here we are, heading back to O'Malley's yard. Look at the mud in this drive. Just shows you how wet it's been this spring. We are behind the curve a little bit, but the weather, as you can see, is pretty good now. The sun is shining, so we've just got to literally make hay while the sun shines, or silage. in this case, but we'll be making hay at some point very soon as well. Right, let's get on with it. There it is, that field that we've just finished. Looking really good, actually. There's a nice sized field. Again, manage this muddy entrance to the field here. But we seem to have done that okay. Right, let's get things started. Well, there we go. What a nicely ready to harvest field we've got there. Look at that. That is perfect. Now, one thing I do want to do is save that auto drive course before we go, because we're going to use that as the basis for our chopper when it comes along next. Now, because of all this mud, it's not going to be very polite of me to drop the kit back in the shed all dirty, is it? So, we'll wash it. It's not ours, so we better look after it. And then what we're going to do, we're going to run back to our farm. We're going to use this T7 here as our tractor in the bunker silo. We're going to use it as our levelling tractor, and we were going to use some of the contractor's tractors to run. I think we'll maybe only run 2 trailers. I don't think it's going to take too long in that field, so that's not so bad. And we're pretty close. We're not running the grass a long way to tip, so let's see how we get on. We've got a 3rd trailer if we need it as well. Obviously a 3rd trailer adds to the bill though, so we want to keep things sensible. There we go, done. Right, let's get this parked up and we'll head back to our yard, and then we'll be back here. Right, here we are, back in our yard. Let's get the blade hooked up. I don't know as yet if there's even enough space to do a horseplay bunker course in here. It does like a lot of space to roll out of the bunker and realign itself. So I might set this up just to see how it runs, but we may find ourselves having to do this by hand because there just isn't enough space between the edge of the bunker here and that green shed ahead of us. So let's just give it a go, see what happens, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so I went to the park position. It's now moving into place in the bunker. Now we're going to see. Time will tell when he comes back out whether or not he's going to be nice or we're going to run out of space. Here he comes. I'm trying to adjust his position here. Now he turned quite early there. It makes me kind of optimistic. Okay, well that's promising. How exciting. I'm going to say that's going to work. Well, there's our chopper. Let's fire it up. And let's get this to the field. And then, like I said, I think we'll start with just 2 trailers. If we feel like we need another one, we can always come and get one. Right, into the field we go. Now look at our first headland. It really is on the edge of the field there. So, it might cause us a couple of issues with the trailers. We shall see. We may even have to shut this gate as well, just to allow us to get around the first headland or so. Although maybe not, maybe not. Right, anyway, let's load the course up and get started. Let's just turn that off. Let's go to first waypoint. Let's go to start. Now it's just going to sit and it's going to wait here. I also need to make sure field 61 wait is set as well, like so. Now it is sitting in the middle of the in the windrow there, so that's looking promising. All we need now is a trailer or two. Right, let's grab the New Holland. I did set up an auto drive course for the trailers before I started the vid, so tested it a couple of times. No collisions so far anyway. Get that hooked up. Now I do need to roll this out onto the road because I've done a very basic course running between field and the bunker and nowhere else yet, so I'd like to think we'll build up on that course as time goes on until we cover all our fields, but for now I need to get it to at least here. There we go. Now I should be able to hit the field 16 weight and it should head on its way, and it looks like it's doing that. Good. So there we go. There is our chopper waiting. We're about to pull into the field here. I am interested to see one thing I haven't tested. We've got a very muddy entrance to this field now. It will drive in fine, but the trailer is empty at the moment. What happens when that trailer's brim full of grass? We will soon find out, won't we? Look at that, struggling a bit now. There we go, we're in the field, so we will find his stop position. There we go. Now we're going to change the course here to a combine course. So we will do this, field 61 weight and silage bunk tip, and we're off. Now he will, hopefully, straight away head over to the chopper. Right. We had to encourage it, just coax it a little bit to go to the inside rather than the outside of the chopper, but this is looking promising. Once this gets up and running, it should run quite nicely. First headland always a pain, after that good to go. Now, there's not masses on this field, it's not filling up super quick either. So maybe we only need a couple of loads off here. We'll see. We'll let it crack on anyway, and we'll keep tabs on it, and then we'll have a chat when the field's nearly done. Well, I thought I'd jump in here, have a little bit of a drive. We're just about full, so we're going to switch trailers in a minute. The other tractor's on auto drive there, just waiting to be picked up. So, yeah, it's running pretty well, actually. Gotta say, I wish I had a slightly longer pipe on the chopper. That's maybe my only gripe. So we'll peel off here at 80, whatever this is at the end of this row, and we'll let him deal with that with the next trailer load. There we go, 89. That'll do us. So we'll drive this manually back to the yard, just for a bit of fun. Also, we'll get the bunker levelling going as well. It wasn't quite finding enough space, so it was struggling a little bit to find the bunker, so it couldn't reverse. So we're going to have to do that manually, but that's okay. I was worried we we're going to have a pretty small crop off here, but actually in hindsight, it's pretty big. These trailers take quite a good load, and those muddy gateways really are a pain though. Now hopefully if I look back across here, yeah, look, tractor's just moving round into place, and he'll run forward with the chopper. Look at that. Clockwork. Right, let's get back to the yard. Now, these entrances are phenomenally tight. You can make it work, like so, but it does take a little bit of just careful driving. You don't want to be gunning it around here at full tilt. There we go, there's the silo. Got some stuff in there at the moment. I'm actually going to try and tip this on the other side, just so it's spread out a bit more evenly. The auto drive course we had it all being tipped in one specific place, so let's see how we get on. We want to stay more to the left here than we do the right. There we go. Not bad. Right, let's tip it there. I think we'll probably jump in and just have a couple of levels with the blade as well at this point, and push that back up a little bit before we head back to the field. Right, into this. Let's spin this around and get these. There's two loads here actually that haven't been levelled yet. Let's get these pushed a little bit further back, shall we? Now, I'm not too worried about full compaction yet. I just want it to be nice and smooth and levelled out, so that every time we get a trailer in, we're not having to start from scratch with a huge amount of grass. So, so far, looking good. We'll just keep going with this little by little. It's looking good. Right, I think that's good enough for now. We'll run the other trailer back, and we'll see where the New Holland is. It's probably not far off being full. Well, we're nearly full here with another trailer, and things are running very, very smoothly. I hope you've not been too disturbed by the fact I'm still completely full of the cold, so this is taking a while to record, because I have to keep stopping and coughing and spluttering and stuff, but there we go. C'est la vie. We're on the road to recovery, so hopefully not too much longer until we are fighting fit again. But for now, from me, the FarmSim guy, I hope you like this kind of re-edit or rehash of Ballyspring. Just thought I'd add a little bit more life to it, and the new version of the map is absolutely superb, so hats off to the guys at Agri Modding for all of the changes and the effort they've put into keeping this going. But for now, from me, take care, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now.